Nobody's texting war plans.
I
know exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're directing, and I'm really proud of what we accomplished, the successful missions that night and going forward. Nobody's texting war plans. Well, I noticed this morning out came something that doesn't look like war plans. And as a matter of fact, they even changed the title to attack plans because they know it's not war plans. There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information.
U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is lying, which, to be clear, is the meta in this day and age. He's just trying to protect his own behind.
When I heard that they were doing all this stuff on Signal, I was like, maybe that's too modern. Whatever happened to a phone call? Jeremy, in the movies, aren't they always on the phone doing this? Where they're like, yeah, strike, strike, strike. Like that. You get taken less seriously as a country when you over here calling bomb strikes with emojis.
The great Josh Johnson has a thought or two on the controversy in his new upload, which is a must-watch.
Why did The Atlantic choose the phrase attack plans in the headline today after using the phrase war plans yesterday? Because that's something that the White House and the DoD comms shop were eager to point out today.
Attack plan is actually worse. War plan actually refers to, and I think that for in the vernacular, they are interchangeable. Obviously, this is a plan to use military vehicles and missiles and other components of U.S. Military to kill our enemies. The attack plan actually refers to more technical aspects of what is done in an attack. A war plan, it really actually refers more to strategy. So I changed the word. I mean, we use it interchangeably, in fact. But I changed the word because attack plan actually gets to the heart of what Pete Hegseth was doing, which was giving a minute-by-minute countdown of what they were hoping to do. But again, that's a sideshow. They are trying to avoid the issue at hand, which is that they engaged in a massive security breach, and this would not have been discovered had they not accidentally shared their signal channel with me, which is in itself evidence of a massive security breach.
Exactly. So Hegseth, Walz, Vance, and Trump can try to weasel their way out, but we all know what went down.
And no one at first was really owning up to who added him. We later find out that I'm pretty sure Walz added him, and this journalist didn't even think that it was real. It was so dumb. When it happened, he said he didn't know it was real until they actually bombed Yemen, and then he, comes forward with, hey, they sent me these plans. He had already left the group as well. When he realized, you're not supposed to be in the room. In the room like, uh-oh. Let me go ahead and notify the right people.
A point that has been discussed. Should Goldberg have left? What else could he have learned? No one knows.
As you know, last week I used some pretty colorful language to call Pete Hegseth a liar. On second thought, I'd like to change it a little. I'd like to call him a disgrace as well.
And on this cringe fest from the Dems, who do not know how to handle their opposition party.
You have these people appearing before Congress getting grilled by Democrats, which just doesn't really mean much, if we're being honest. It's like, getting grilled by Democrats is like getting grilled by a step-parent. It's like, you're not my real... But what are you gonna do though? What are you gonna do about it? It's like the first time you get big enough to really step to your dad, and you know you should do it, but you're like, what you gonna do though? I show you how to use your phone, old man. I'm training you now. We the same height.
Couldn't have said it better. No one is scared of them.
There's this whole thing. We still don't even know the half of it, of what's been going on with Signal, because we also don't know how long they've been using Signal. We don't know why they weren't using more secure methods. And then through, I'm pretty sure, a German publication, they find that some of the top brass in the government are being so unserious with their data that they were able to deliver messages just from personal emails, old emails, and I don't know, man, this is pretty bad. You know what I mean? I didn't recognize how bad it was, and I think a lot of the general public don't really feel like it was that bad because people say it's a successful mission. That's why some people think the leak was on purpose, because it's like all they did was leak a successful mission. And it's like, morality aside of what a successful mission means for a country that, I don't know, like, has anybody checked? Are we at war with Yemen? I don't know. Mission success, like, but you bombed. Why? You didn't even explain why. I feel like no one's even asking why. They're just like, man, do you see that they text the wrong number?
On that first point, it's a simple answer. From Newsweek, in a training video about oversight and investigations intended to prepare the Trump administration and their appointees as part of Project 2025, Heritage Foundation Oversight Project Executive Director Mike Howell, America First legal lawyer Michael Ding, and Tom Jones of the American Accountability Foundation discussed the use of Signal. As they write in the video, the three speakers discuss topics related to FOIA, or Freedom of Information Act requests, and public records, but did not point to Signal as a way to avoid FOIA accountability. Jones would mention in-person meetings and avoid putting anything in writing because it would be subject to FOIA requests. But when asked if messages sent on Signal would count as public records, Ding said, well, that's a little tricky. This also comes as a Pentagon-wide advisory warned against using the messaging app, even for unclassified info. That's via NPR. One of the more fun games that I like to play, because we are living in the time of dumb, is what if the shoe was on the other foot? My God, what a scandal. And it feels like when you have the Jesse Waters of the world, whether he decides to cheat on and leave his wife for a Fox News producer or not, will go on national television and say, come on, don't you remember when you were added accidentally to the boys group chat talking about the bachelor party? They're talking about bombing a country, bro. They're not talking about you guys blowing a bunch of lines in Vegas. I'm flabbergasted. And the amount of people on the right who bend over backwards to justify this. Hypothetically, if this were Barack Obama or Joe Biden, because we got to keep it somewhat relevant with Signal being newish, can you imagine what Sean Hannity would be saying? Could you imagine what Laura Ingraham would be saying? Can you imagine what Donald Trump would be saying? Mystifying. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to TYT.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.